Good morning to all of you out there. Welcome to the program agenda. I'm Cito Beltran. It's September 18, 2020, Friday, another weekend, and I do hope you are all feeling well. Looking forward to the weekend. Pero ano ba bago? As unless you are one of those who are actually working, you might be looking forward to the weekend. But for most of the Filipinos, they are they're perpetual weekend sila pero going nowhere. In any case, let's try to brighten up your morning, but I don't really know if that will be the case because based on the lineup of our guests today, the only bright spot that I can see in what we will be talking about today would be the report and inputs of Lynn Olivario, our correspondent at News 5, who will be talking about the ongoing attempts push to resume PBA in a bubble format. Ano po ba yung bubble format? Parang bula. Kukulong mo sa loob ng bula yung mga player at doon sila maglalaro para walang hawahan. Kumbaga, doon sila magpapatest, doon sila matutulog siguro, and then doon lang sila maglalaro, walang uwian. In any case, we'll find out from Lynn Olivario what she has gathered, what information she's gathered concerning the bubble format of the PBA. But before that, we will be speaking to Undersecretary Diosdado San Antonio of the DepEd, Department of Education, kasi wag naman po sana, but it seems na kinapos or kakapusin ang DepEd in terms of budgets for the modules, learning material for the students. So we will see what real situation is, kakayanin ba? And then of course, there's also a concern regarding the sustainability, quality, and availability of internet for those who are going online, etc., etc. Then we will speak with MMDA General Manager Jojo Garcia for an update on the many things that's happening, social distancing, yung mga bus lanes, paano nang gagawin nila sa Manila Bay cleanup this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow, given that it's coronavirus, etc., etc. Then we will speak with Lieutenant General Guillermo Eleazar. I have to confess, I don't know exactly what's going on, but there seems to be some confusion regarding travel passes, and the province of Cavite. Because if you recall, General Eleazar very recently commented or announced that people who are going to travel to Tagaytay City for tourism purposes, hindi ko nga maisip tourism, pwede ba yun? Tourism purpose, hingi ka ng travel pass? Parang oxymoron, di ba? Kasi naka-quarantine tayo, dapat walang tourism. Yun nga ang pinaglalaban ni Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat, na makawala na ang mga Pilipino para makabiyahe, makapasyal sa buong Pilipinas. But in any case, apparently there's a confusion. General Eleazar said anyone going to Tagaytay City needs to have a travel pass if you're not a resident of Tagaytay City. Mukhang sabi ng mga tiga Cavite, teka, tiga Cavite kami bayan namin yung Tagaytay bakit ganun? Well, we will find out para magkaliwanagan naman at hindi mag-away-away at magkatampuan. Okay, we will try also to call Dr. Jimmy Galvestan, former secretary, kasi meron po silang push na palayain na ang mga Pilipino. Lift all forms of quarantine and wait a minute. Teka lang po, wag niyo akong bibigyan ng instruction habang ako ay nag-i-intro dito. Anyway, we will try to get Secretary Jimmy Galveston kung available siya kasi he and about 5,000 other doctors are saying we can give Filipinos preventive medication. We should ramp up the treatment for infections. But this quarantine is not helping anybody. Well, the biggest problem really of COVID-19 contamination transmission ay yung mga nakatira. Let's call a spade, doon sa squatters area, doon sa mga informal settlers, doon sa mga siksikan sa barangay na patong-patong. Papasok sa trabaho, uuwi, may dalang sakit, tapos magkakalat sa barangay. In the meantime, many Filipinos who have their own homes, have their own space, who have their own vehicles, wala, nakakulong. Anyway, let's go into our headlines. First, the stories from the front page of the Philippine Star. The Transportation Department has suspended the implementation of the reduced physical distancing policy in public utility vehicles or PUVs. Palace said Transportation Chief Arthur Tugade made the call in order to give President Duterte time to review the controversial measure, which also elicited differing reactions among cabinet officials, with some agreeing to it, like presidential spokesman Roque and others going against it, like Interior Chief Eduardo Año and Health Secretary Francisco Duque III. The reduced physical distancing protocol was implemented last Monday, wherein the 1 meter distance between passengers is reduced to 0.75 meters or 75 centimeters to accommodate more and as such help reopen the economy. After 2 weeks, it would have been reduced again to half a meter and then further to 0.3 meters after 2 more weeks. Ayan po yung sinasabi natin, okay? At least that's evidence. The government is responsive. Sad na kailangang magkabatikusan, magkabanatan, or mag-ingay muna ang tao bago magre-react. But fair is fair. Secretary Tugade reacted to public opinion, responded to public criticism, and said, okay, time out, wag muna natin gawin yan. Hayaan na natin si Presidente kung desisyonan niya na tutuloy o hindi, pero nandiyan na yan. Pero hindi na nila pinupush, okay? Kumbaga stop the ball, okay? Status quo muna. So, that's good. Tapos yung pong pinag-uusapan na nagkakontrahan daw sa cabinet meeting o sa IATF. Tataka lang ako, no? Ano ba alam ng spokesman tungkol sa health matters? Kasi palagay ko medyo parang Secretary DILG, siyempre, mga tao at saka masasakupan niya apektado. Secretary of Health, he's the science guy. And then, opinion of the spokesman is supposed to just say what's been agreed on, not opinionate on the decision of a policy. Sorry, I'm calling it. Anyway, several mayors in Metro Manila are sounding the alarm on the delayed delivery of the second tranche of the Social Amelioration Program, or SAP. In Quezon City alone, Mayor Joy Belmonte said only 151,000 out of over 330,000 have received the 8,000 peso cash and cash aid. The first tranche was distributed by local governments, but in the second dole-out, the Social Welfare Department has been given the responsibility of distributing the financial assistance. Navotas Mayor Toby Chanco also chimed in saying that no one even answers the DSWD hotline. Ayun na po yung sinasabi na kasi nagkabatikusan o nagkabintangan doon sa unang bigayan ng alalay, sabi ng mga namumuno, wag na yung mga mayor sa mamimigay, wag na yung barangay, DSWD na para wala nang punahan, etc. Ayan po, slow the bagal, malalaman natin if we get the chance to speak with the DSWD, what is the reason for the hold up? Hindi po hold up, ha? Hold up. Kumbaga, bakit nabibitin? Okay. In other stories, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom have challenged before the United Nations the legality of China's maritime claims in South China Sea. The three Western countries emphasize that China's exercise of historic rights over the disputed waters does not comply with international law and of the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. The three Western powers also cited the arbitral award in the Philippines versus China case back in 2016. They declared that the integrity of the UNCLOS needs to be maintained. Ayan po, no? Kasi baka kayo po ay baka marami sa inyo millennial o kaya nakalimutan nyo na yung inyong history, ganyan-ganyan po nag-uumpisa yung mga gera eh. May mga sumusubok, may mga bansa na nag-aambisyon. I mean, that was what Hitler did. He tried occupying small countries first and then declared war against Europe. Ano ba nangyari sa Japan? Di ba? Yung maliliit muna, tinira, surprise attack yung Pearl Harbor, tapos kinana pati Pilipinas, before you knew it, patalon-talo na. Itong nangyayaring ito, this is something that we should all watch and we should pray for, that it does not go into the level of a confrontation, kasi yan po ang mga problema natin dyan. Baka sabihin, malayo yan, Cito, malayo sa bituka yan. Naku po, sabi nga nung isang naval officer, nakalimutan ko na lang yung pangalan, Jari ho yun. Nagtututukan na sila doon sa Philippine Sea. Ano bang nangyayari? Kasi naghihintay lang, naghahanap lang ng dahilan o paraan itong mga sabi nila, Chinese Civil Defense Unit. Naku po, puro military. Wala naman civil dyan sa China. Puro yan Communist Party. In any case, ayan po. No? And back here in the Philippines, the country's richest tycoons saw the collective wealth fall 22% in the middle of COVID-19 pandemic, according to Forbes. Sino ba itong si Forbes? No? Anyway, the siblings, yung magkakapatid na mga anak ni Henry C., the SM Group, children of the late Henry C. Sr., stayed on top of the list with net worth of $13.9 billion a year ago. This value was at 17 billion. Coming in second was Manny Villar, who had a net worth of $5 billion. And also lower than the $6.6 billion of net worth tallied last year. The same names from 2019 remained in the top 10, with the exception of Lance Gokongwei and his siblings, who are on the list after the death of their father, John Gokongwei Jr. last year. So madaling sabi, marami pa ring mayaman sa Pilipinas na umaabot pa sa $1 billion ang yaman. Sana naman po kung kayo ay nakakapanood. Kasi alam ko yung mga brother, sister, at least yung si Big Boy, Henry C. Jr., Tessie Cosot, alam nyo, mga naging napaka-makajus na ng mga yan. Henry C. Jr. recently publicly declared his faith as a born-again Christian, and I am believing that will lead to a transformation of attitude towards wealth. Kasi alam niyo po, aanhin nyo, just this morning I was listening to the preaching about wealth, and kahit sino pong namatay, nakilala nyo, bilyonaryo dyan, typhoon, etc., tingnan ninyo, panoorin nyo. Ang mga nadadala lang sa libing, yung papel na kotse, papel na play money, sinusunog at sinasama doon sa Chinese culture, ano? Pero no one brings it with them to, unless magpapalibing ka sa loob ng iyong Rolls-Royce, Mercedes, or whatever. In any case, let's move on to our first interview kasi baka kapusin po tayo ng oras at ma-tight daw on schedule. Ang ating pong unang makakapanayam is an Undersecretary for Curriculum and Instruction at the DepEd. He holds a research PhD in education from the University of Newcastle in Australia. I think we've interviewed him before. Undersecretary Diosdado San Antonio. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sir Cito. Good morning, Cito. Good morning to our viewers and listeners.
Okay, Usec, I was just going through the notes, and it seems that there is a concern regarding these self-learning modules na baka kakapusin daw, parang hanggang 50% lang ang kayang pondohan at i-produce, and it will have to be shared or something. Kayo na nga po mag-explain kasi baka mali-mali yung nakuha ko information, mapagbintangan pa akong fake news.
Maraming salamat po. Fan po ako ng column nyo. But tungkol po dito sa SLMs, kami po sa DepEd, I think I've shared na I've been with DepEd for 35 years. Nag-start ako as a teacher. We have, of course, been able to respond to challenges in different ways. Katulad din po dito sa COVID-19, yung SLM, totoo po that the funds will never be abundant. And habang po kami nag-uusap dito, we were exploring ways to make sure na ang bawat bata may learning resource. And we believe that if you do distance learning, ang talaga pong appropriate yan, mga modules. Hindi pwedeng libro lang. Although, alam naman po natin na ang mga libro, pag dinagdagan mo ng mga activity sheets and learning plan, ay pwede rin gamitin. So ang sinasabi po natin, while we acknowledge that due to fund constraints, hindi namin mabibigay lahat, isang option po yung rotational use. And we understand that the concern may be na ang mga modules ang maging transmitter ng virus. Ang sinasabi po natin, and many of the schools have actually informed us, na ang gagawin nila ay i-disinfect ito using the UV lights bago ililipat sa isang bata. So ito po, ang mga decisions on ilang rotation, ako tingin ko po kasi maximum of 4 kasi you can make a child learn the subject for like to be covered in 1 month, in 1 week, pero reduce naman yung subject ang aaralin. Pero bibihira lang po yata yung up to the maximum na pwedeng gamitin ito. Ang marami pong naririnig namin, 1:2. Ibig sabihin, 4 na subject yung aaralin ng bata, pero 2 weeks naman yung aaralin niya dun sa subject na ito bago siya lilipat sa susunod na 4 subjects to be covered in that 2 weeks. So, ang magiging practice po ay sisiguruhin na fully sanitized siya. At maliban po dyan, we should also remember that it's not just the self-learning modules that we will use. We will still be taking advantage of the availability of TV and radio. And ang mga lessons po doon, parehas din ng lesson na nandyan sa self-learning modules. I-convert po yung mga modules natin into scripts na gagamitin sa radio and TV. At ang dagdag din po doon, pag TV and radio rin lang ang gagamitin sa mga areas na talagang hindi naabot ng SLMs, ay mga learning activity sheets and the learning plan. So ang mga kasama po natin sa DepEd have already been alerted na these are the options that everybody can adapt. Hindi po tayo nagpe-prescribe ng uniform way to do it kasi naniniwala po si Secretary Liling na ang contextualization dapat yan sa pinakamababang antas ng ating bureaucracia kasi sila ang mas nakakaalam ng sarili nilang mga sitwasyon.
Okay, ayoko naman pong panghimasukan yung trabaho nyo kasi kayo yung mga experts, ano. Pero ako po kasi nakakapagturo rin ako paminsan-minsan doon sa gawing Tagaytay, doon sa Development Academy of the Philippines. And ang ginagamit ko, actually hindi ako gumagamit ng mga sinasabing yung mga modules na yan eh. Kasi ang ginagawa ko, meron akong mga PowerPoint at bali nagsasalita ako na tinuturuan ko. At ang mga tinuturuan ko, mga opisyal ng gobyerno, kuminsan mga 40, 50, ganun. Kuminsan 25, depende sa kung may pondo sila. But the point I'm making here is because we are under a new situation, is it possible to just abandon these learning modules for the time being? Kumbaga, sabi mo nga, may script, o ano yung script? O ito yung PowerPoint. O sige, lalabas namin to sa TV. Parang itong interview ko kay Usec, Diosdado ba? Okay, Diosdado. Paano ba ang palayo mo, Dodi?
Dads po, dads.
Dads, okay. Ito, Usec Dads, ito, may PowerPoint ako. Sige, ito yung tuturo ko. My point is, do we really need to have those learning modules? Or can we just simply, okay, this is too complicated, it's too expensive, let's do visual, video, virtual, etc.
Ang trust po natin, kasi alam naman po natin yung kulturang Pilipino, na-surprise nga po kami na kahit sa NCR, alam namin may access sila sa gadgets, so pwede nang kunin yung learning resource in digital formats kasi ito pong modules na to converted in different formats, pero ang preference pa rin po ng maraming pamilya ay yung printed. But for the first quarter, since nga po urgent ito at lahat, so ang ginawa po ng DepEd NCR ay nag-reproduce talaga. But since the local governments are also providing gadgets to the learners, gradually po magmamigrate tayo when the area has sufficient gadgets sa digital version ng ating self-learning module. So module pa rin po siya, pero in digital format na pwede pong offline, ipapadala sa kanila in the form of mga flash drives or other ways. At doon na lang nila bubuksan yung aralin at pwedeng manood ng TV o makinig ng radyo to supplement what is being covered doon sa mga digital learning resource. So kasama po yan sa natin sa trust, but we still feel that we cannot just completely disregard the printing of the self-learning modules kasi po there are also families na wala talagang access sa mga ibang media for them to get hold of the learning resources.
Okay, hindi ko lang alam kung nagbago na yung konstitusyon ng Pilipinas, pero ang pagkakaalala ko, pagdating sa pondo, sa budgets and allocations, education is supposed to have the largest cut of the pie, number one. Number two, ang pagkakaintindi ko dyan sa DepEd, dahil nakatuwang nyo naman ako, tumutulong din ako sa inyo, ka-partner ninyo yung mga local government. By coincidence, yesterday, I interviewed Mayor Vico Soto. It was a privilege to interview Soto because he was explaining how they allocated 1.3 billion pesos, part of which will cover all the tablets, the electronic tablets for their students. Now, my question is, if one mayor of a respectably large city can do it, why can't we do it nationwide and just channel? Kasi sabi ni Vico Soto, ginawa namin, kuyang, inalis na lang, tinapes-tapes na lang namin yung mga budget para do sa printing, sa eraser, pencil, lahat yung mga hindi naman talaga kailangan at binuhos na namin sa tablets. I'm sorry, I just need to ask what most people are probably wondering, Dads. Ba't hindi na lang ganun? Bigyan na lang natin ng tablet lahat para hindi na tayo naghahanap ng storage ng mga libro, lockers, etc. Tapos bibili pa ng papel, lapis, etc.
Actually, that was also part of my proposals bilang po Usec ng curriculum and instruction. But I was told yung parang financial requirement to do that nationwide for more than 20 million learners, hindi kayang ibigay ng biglaan. So I think ang roadmap naman po ng ating education technology unit ay towards eventually making sure that the learners would have access to gadgets, tablet PCs. Ongoing po yung distribution, but we cannot do that in such a big scale immediately. So kasama po yan sa mga parang nakikita kong post-COVID-19 scenario at masyadong mamodernize po ang pag-provide natin ng learning resources sa ating mga estudyante. And we really agree that the progressive-minded local government officials are able to do it na, especially those with with more resources.
Congratulations na may mga tiga-DepEd katulad mo at saka katulad ni Secretary Briones na naiisip itong, ang tawag niyo dyan, meron kayong program, yung Future Something.
Future Thinking.
Future Thinking. Ang problema, mukhang yung mga ilang politiko, pocket thinking. May pambili tayo ng mga luxury jet, may mga panggawa ng basketball court, pero walang pampondo ng tablet. In any case, meron pa raw second concern. Kasi alam nyo, kanya kayo na pakiusapang mag-guest Usec. Kasi nag-aalala kami, baka dumating tayo sa Oktubre, Nobyembre, madiscover natin, hindi pala talaga kaya, wala tayong budget. Kasi sabi raw ni Usec Annalyn Sibilia, para magkaroon tayo ng 1:1 module to student, kailangan mo ng 35 billion, 15 billion lang yung pondo. Tapos yung second concern ay yung yung mga electronic digital capacity. Baka raw pagdating October 5, kausap ko nga kahapon yung isang tao, sabi ko, baka pagdating October 5 lahat tayo walang signal. Dahil ilang milyon kamo yan? 20 million. Baka pag lahat yan bigla nagbukas ng cellphone, todas na ang agenda, wala na kaming signal.
Ang po natin, Sir Cito, ay hindi naman lahat, o yung isang parang misconception na pag nag-distance learning, lahat naka-online. Ang totoo po niyan, sa learning continuity plan natin, talagang naghahandog tayo ng iba-ibang options consistent with the resources of the families. Ang tingin po namin, siguro at most 25% ang pupunta sa online. So of that 22 million, lang po yan, mga 5. Pero ang sinasabi rin po natin, mag-o-observe ang mga bata ng screen time suggestion. So hindi naman talaga sabay-sabay. Kasi hindi, kung mababa pa yung grade level ay hindi naman pwedeng maghapon silang nakaharap sa kanilang gadget. So ang concern po yatang yan, valid. Although alam ko po na alam nyo na hindi naman dapat kami ang maghanap ng solusyon para maging mabilis yung internet natin o ma-broaden yung Pero mayroon din pong mga technology na isinishare sa amin, and we hope to be able to use. Some local governments are also doing it, na parang yung parang local area network ang gagamitin, so hindi kailangan makipag-agawan sa internet. Pagkakaalam ko po, kasama ito doon sa isang project na binibigyan din pong priority ng current government, yung invest sa parang public education network. I'm not very sure of the exact term, pero kasi hindi po ako yung in charge doon, but I know may mga efforts na po na to come up with parang ways to connect schools in certain areas or offices. Ongoing din po siya, but again, hindi naman siya magagawa immediately in time for October 5. Pero mayroon po tayong mga nakita sa mga dry runs na ganito yung modelong ginamit. Nagdala sila ng parang nag-establish ng local area network at yung mga tao doon ay nakakapag-connect. But I understand, yun na nga po, lahat po tayo may challenge dito, at kahit nga minsan sa mga virtual meetings na pinupuntahan natin, nagiging problema yung internet connection or speed. Nga po ito, talagang valid issue na ang sabi nga po natin, hindi naman completely madidiskaril yung ating gagawin kasi may other supporting supplementary learning resource na pwedeng gamitin.
Okay. I don't want to be negative or anything, Usec, no? But you're dealing with 22 million students. I don't know how many million teachers we have. We're dealing about 1 million. And then we have about 7,000 islands na lang, sabihin natin. Wag na natin bilangin yung 100 islands na kalat-kalat. The possibility, and then such a small budget for such a radical demand and pressure on the DepEd, parang the chances of something seriously going wrong is quite high. What if something seriously goes wrong? Meron ba tayong freeze the ball? Meron bang referee na magsasabing, okay, it's not working, this is creating more problems? What are the parameters or guidelines of the DepEd in case it doesn't work?
What we're doing now is, una po, we're frequently meeting with our regional directors every week, parang minimum of once a week. So we really get updates as frequently as once a week from the regional offices. Ako po, I also do consultation. So we've been, ako po kasi as a former regional director, nung naghanda kami sa senior high school implementation in 2016, we were really like imagining the worst case scenarios, and we were ready with contingencies. So yung pong thinking na ganito, mas marami naman na po ang ganyan ang orientation sa DepEd. Ang pakiramdam ko po, and I'm very proud of this, na yung napakita po sa more than thousands of dry runs na ginawa ng mga school, nakaka-amaze po that they are really very capable of innovating, creating, and being self-reliant. So yung Filipino spirit po, yung resiliency is very strong among our team. So while I understand that dapat po talaga we should always consider the worst cases, ang maganda po pag ganyan yung mindset ay naka-ready tayo psychologically and armed tayo ng mga contingencies.
So last question na lang. So in case of emergency, anong option nyo? Postpone?
Ang sabi sa amin, yun na nga po, we will continue using the barest that we have. Kung ano po yung, kasi po the textbooks are there. Ang gagawin ng teacher ay gawaan sila ng learning activity sheets na map po ito sa most essential learning competencies. At ang sasabay po yung learning plan, tuloy-tuloy pa rin po na may guidance ang bata habang nag-home learning. But as I've said, this may not be as effective as the highly organized, self-contained, self-directed learning modules that we have developed.
Okay. Well, at least naliwanagan na yun. Kasi nabasa ko na 15 billion lang ang available. 30-something billion lang kailangan. Sabi ko, nalintikan na. In any case, Usec Dads, thank you very much for your time this morning. And please, if you need to announce anything, you need help, please let us know. Kasi kakampi po namin ng DepEd. Alam naman namin ginagawa nyo lahat. Magagaling kayong lahat dyan. Pasensya na kayo. Nag-aalala lang ako kasi baka mamaya kamo may nang tsatsani sa inyo dyan eh. Baka sinatsani ng ilang politiko yung pondo nyo. Awayin na natin. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat din po. Marami po kayong na-influence sa mga kasama namin. Unfortunately, yung mga training, hindi na ako napasali doon. But they had good insights learned from you. Yung mga kasama ko sa Region 4A dating mga superintendents na naturuan nyo. They were so inspired.
Okay.
Maraming salamat din po.
Maraming salamat din po, Usec San Antonio. Okay, that's Undersecretary Diosdado San Antonio. Siya po sila yung gumagawa ng mga curriculum. At saka, alam nyo, nakakatrabaho ko sila kasi tayo naman, we make ourselves available to help those in government. Siyempre, may konting kabuhayan doon, pero mas enjoy. Alam nyo, you don't earn as much in helping government agencies, but it is very fulfilling at makikita nyo, alam nyo po, kwento ko lang, no? Pasensya na, Mr. Gabriel Malyari, sandali lang. Alam nyo, diyan ko po, lalo na doon sa may banda bang Subic, ano bang probinsya, Zambales. Doon ako nakakilala ng mga principal at teacher na babae kanyo, bumabangon ng napakaaga, pagkatapos sasakay sa motorsiklo, iiwanan yung sweetheart, yung mga anak, sasakay sa motorsiklo, dala yung mga learning materials, tatawid, literally crossing 2 rivers or streams or whatnot up the jungle just to teach people, to teach children. wag niyo pong pipintasan ang mga tiga DepEd. Masarap pintasan para sa iba, pero tingnan niyo muna yung sakripisyo nila. Ngayon, tayo naman, kanya po kami nagtatanong kay Usec San Antonio, kasi sabi ng Constitution, pinakamalaking parte sa DepEd dahil kinabukasan ng bata yan. Pagkatas biglang malalaman natin, konti lang ang budget ng DepEd, natitipid, may problema. Pagkatas madidinig nyo si Vico Soto namigay ng pera para sa tablets ng mga estudyante. Something is not right here. If Pasig City can do it, why can't the whole country not do it? You know why? Because politicians get in the way. Because the older generation does not put in their head and in their heart to prioritize the next generation of learners. That's what it is. Napakasimple. Meron po tayong kasabihan sa Pilipino, di ba? Kung gusto, may paraan. Kung ayaw, maraming dahilan. Dinadahilan, wala nga pong budget. Bakit walang budget? Dalawa lang ang dahilan kung walang budget. Hindi ka nanghingi at hindi mo pinaglaban ng budget, o kaya tinitiani ka, tinitiris ka dahil gustong gamitin yung budget sa ibang bagay. We'll never get anywhere unless we educate our children properly, we facilitate their learning fully with good modern equipment, because only that way we will be able to perhaps one day send out children who will become the next generation of adults as better qualified people. Hindi simpleng empleyado, hindi work laborer, hindi domestic helper, kung hindi professional. That's what we need. And if you are a viewer, baka sabi, tama kasi ito, pero wala tayong magagawa. No, be indignant about it. Kinabukasan po ito ng kabataan, ipaglaban nyo. Dahil pag lahat tayo natigok, o lahat tayo matigok sa COVID, pagharap nyo kay Lord, tatanong sa inyo ni Lord, ano ginawa mo para sa mga bata? Patay tayong lahat. Okay, let's go for a break. And when we come back, our next interview naman po, tingnan natin, may basketball ba o wala? Okay, here on Agenda. Welcome back to the program Agenda. I'm Cito Beltran, and at this stage, let's bring in the wonderful news correspondent of TV5 na pinag-aralan itong hilig ng marami, ito pong PBA. Let's bring in Lynn Olavario. Tanong natin kay Lynn, may PBA ba o may labada? Lynn, good morning.
Good morning, Cito. This is actually good news, not only for the PBA fans, but for the players themselves. Now, I was seeing their posts last night. So the PBA decided to resume the suspended Philippine Cup of the 45th season in a bubble setup in Clark City. in Pampanga. So
Ano ba yung bubble setup na yan? Ang alam mo, Lynn, ang alam ko lang na bubble, yung bubble sa paglalaba ko. Kasi ako yung mag-isa, walang maid, walang asawa, naglalaba ako mano-mano. Ano ba yung bubble na yan sa PBA?
Sito, it's similar to the NBA setup where they're having the where they're having the NBA games now in an Orlando bubble or a Disney bubble. So it's essentially a closed environment, no? So kayo-kayo lang yung nandun. Limited siya. So actually the rules are very strict. So if you're in the bubble already, you cannot go out anymore. And if you go out, you cannot get back to the bubble. So they're implementing very very strict protocols once inside the bubble. Sito, it's also important to know that this is also this is of course pending the approval of the IATF. But so far as the plans, they chose Clark City because Clark City is able to cater to, not only the physical needs and the logistical needs of the players, but also their mental health, no? Inside the bubble, just to give the viewers an idea kung ano yung mga pwede gawin ng mga players doon. To take care of the players' mental health for 2 months of being holed up in the bubble. Imagine you're just there and you can't go out for 2 months. They will have access to golf, water sports, a big screen where they can watch movies at night as well as other recreational activities. And the games will be held at the Angeles University Foundation Gym. It was refurbished and used during the 30th Southeast Asian Games. And so each team will have a dedicated bus to bring them to the gym and back to the Quest Hotel in Mimosa, while trainings will be held in practice facilities, including a makeshift tent within the bubble, of course. And RT-PCR testing will be conducted in the bubble following DOH protocols. So, Cito, if this will be given a go signal by the IATF, the teams are set to head to the bubble on the 26th this month and begin scrimmages on the 27th and have games beginning October 9. So, malapit na, Cito. So, the plan is to have double headers or 2 games every day for 7 days a week. So, pag natuloy ito, mangyayari round robin muna, elimination round, 7 days a week, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. There has to be time in between the games for them to disinfect the venue. Kaya may pagitan na ganun. And then, kasi Cito, if we remember, iisa lang yung game ng 45th season. This is between the Magnolia Hotshots and the San Miguel Beermen. Tapos na-cancel na or na-suspend na yung season because of the pandemic. Pero counted yun, yung panalo ng yung game between Magnolia and San Miguel last March will be counted. Tapos quarterfinals na where the top 4 teams enjoy a twice to beat advantage. Tapos best of 5 semifinals na, and then the best of 7 finals slated to end a week before Christmas. Sinasabi nga ni Commissioner Willie Marshall yesterday in the Zoom press conference that talagang pinipilit niya na matapos to before Christmas, no, kasi magagalit naman na daw yung mga pamilya ng mga players. And eto, Cito, as for the players who will go against the rules, so if they will violate and go out of the bubble, medyo malaki, mabigat-bigat yung fine, no? 1 month salary. Hindi nila matatanggap, plus a fine of 100,000 pesos and a suspension for 5 playing games for the next season.
Well, I am not very worried about them violating the bubble kasi nakatiis ka nga ng 6 na buwan na nakakulong sa bahay doon pa sa basketball court. Yung mga batang yan, laman ng basketball court sa mga yan, hindi aalis yan dyan. But Lynn, here's our concern, okay? So, in essence, if the IATF agrees, how many teams will head out to Clark City?
There are 12 teams that will head to Clark City. So sa bilang po ni Commissioner Willie Marshall, yesterday he said there are about 350 packs. The entire delegation na yun of the PBA, including the PBA, that includes the referees, the officials, syempre the coaching staff din of all teams. So 350, not counting pa the TV5, which na tayo who will cover the game. So wala pa sa bilang. Yeah, but there are 12.
So kayo rin, Lynn, ikaw ba yung nagko-cover sa PBA?
Yes, I cover.
So hindi ka rin pwedeng umalis sa bubble?
If I get assigned to the bubble, I can't leave until the season is over. So hanggang December.
Okay, so the bubble will essentially be kasi Clark City is huge. I would enjoy being in Clark City, but I think it's too big a bubble. Is the bubble, the actual bubble, going to be a smaller area within Clark City?
From my understanding, based on how they described it yesterday, kasi kasama dun, the players will be given access pa to go around the city that's also within the bubble. So,
Mhm.
para dun nga sa kanilang
Okay.
mental health, no, para at least may mapagkalibangan naman sila like golf. So, that only gives you an idea how big
Mhm.
this bubble is. And, based on our experience covering the SEA Games in December, itong Clark, ay, malaki talaga siya.
Yeah.
Which,
Mm.
yeah.
Sobrang ang laki. Pwede kang magpalipad na eroplano doon sa loob at magpalipad ng lobo. But in any case, okay, so 350 person delegation staying in a hotel. Everyone else is off limits to the hotel. Pero how are they going to control? Because like the hotels are going to have staff, etc. Pati ba yung mga staff na yun ng hotel, wala ring uwian?
I am not sure about the setup in the staff, but what I imagine is if it's a bubble setup, lahat ng tao in the bubble ay controlled. So I'm sure
Okay.
they will have to keep it safe for the players then. But
Now,
even-
one thing you mentioned, medyo caught my attention. You said they're going to play 7 days a week, 2 games a day.
Mhm. Yes, Ito.
And how many weeks total will each team be playing on the average?
Because there are 12 teams, there are 11 games in a single round robin
Mhm.
elimination round. So, syempre pag may nalaglag and then after nun may malalaglag na apat out of the 12 teams.
Mhm.
Walo na lang yung matitira right sa quarterfinals where the top 4 teams enjoy a twice to beat advantage, and then followed by a best of 5 semis and a best of 7 finals. So nababawasan naman na yung mga teams. So but they will, at least all of them will play a minimum of 11 games.
Okay, well, 11 games is one thing, but playing 11 games in like what, in 7 days or 6 days, that's going to be hell on those players, especially at that competitive level, and especially given the fact that they have not been able to go out or play. That's going to be wild. And I hope tempers don't flare up. In any case, Lynn, I'm hoping you get to go. Do you want to go? Do you want to cover it?
Yes, I actually want to go. I mean, I was asking if I will be part of the delegation of TV5 who will be sent
Mhm.
to sent. It's interesting kasi Sito, this isn't normal at all. This is far from what we're used to na no. So
Okay, yung aking EP merong vested interest dito si Gab Malyari Paano raw manunood yung mga fans? Kasi co-cover ng TV5, di ba? Pero walang fans yan doon sa loob ng Angeles gym.
Commissioner Willie Marshall said there will be virtual fans and there will be a lot of mix. There parang you go to this parang website and you're watching the game there, or you log in here and then you get projected in the sidelines or along the baseline. I
Okay.
understand.
Akala ko ipiprint yung mga mukha namin tapos ilalagay sa mga silya. Okay. Anyway, Lynn.
Dito kasi inside syempre fans are not allowed in the
Yeah.
they can't watch.
Well,
So marami naman daw gimmick na gagawin para buhay pa rin yung viewing experience ng mga fans.
Well, I do hope they succeed. I really hope Willie Marshall gets this off the ground kasi talagang yan yung mga milestones that will ultimately set many of us free. Alam mo ko, senior citizen, talagang wala na akong kalayaan dito sa community quarantine. Thank you very much, Lynn, and please take care of yourself, and I do hope you get your wish, and I do hope you do not regret your wish. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cito.
Okay. Hindi po biro. Yung gagawin ni Lynn Olivario na yun, baka akala ninyo, uy, ang buti pa siya, makakapanood siya. You know, covering one game per se, just getting all the stats, interviewing the players, etc. That can be intense. But if you have to do that 2 games a day, and tuloy-tuloy yun, naku po, baka mahilo-hilo itong sila Lynn, pati yung mga cameraman ng TV5. So medyo, ayun po, no? Okay, let's move on to our next interview. Medyo loaded tayo today, mabilis ang usapan. Puntahan po natin si General Manager Jojo Garcia ng MMDA kasi marami pong mapapag-usapan. Ayun po, GM Jojo, good morning. Nice to see you.
Hi, good morning, Sir Cito. No? Good morning to all your listeners and your viewers pa. Good morning po.
Okay, pasensya ka na, GM. I am one of the many millions who don't get to go out. Rarely do I really go out. So, hindi na namin alam kung ano nangyayari sa labas. Mababalitaan na lang namin yung mga bollards ganito, bus ganito. Tapos itong social distancing. Ano po ba ang mga latest concerns ng MMDA right now, GM?
Actually, sabi ko nga, napalawak na natin yung mandato ng MMDA, no? Besides on our 7 mandates, no? Yung traffic management, engineering, flood control, waste management, no? Yung mga ganyan. Nadagdagan tayo doon sa one command center, no? Ito yung under dito, yung campaign ng massive testing, and then yung Oplan Kalinga, yung isolation ng mga positive, and of course yung one command hospital. Ano? Dito natin nakikita, let's say, ang isang city puno ang hospital, may gusto magpa-hospital, not actually COVID, but all sickness. No? Pwede namin i-connect to sa ibang city na bakante yung mga hospitals. So tuloy-tuloy naman, of course, under kay Secretary Vince Dizon, tumutulong ang MMDA dyan as the command center. So yan po yung ating nadagdag na mandato po, no? I think ang na-test natin more than 320,000 na, no? Dito sa mga mega swabbing facilities natin. Ito yung sa MOA, Ciudad Palacio de Palacios in Manila, yung Enderan, yung sa Bulacan, Philippine Arena. So tumutulong tayo rito, no? And then dun sa mga Oplan Kalinga natin, meaning ito yung kinukuha nating mga positive sa LGUs, more than 7,000 patients na ang naayos natin dyan. So yun po, no? Tumutulong tayo as MMDA po as coordinator sa mga LGUs. Yan po ang isang nadagdag po sa ating trabaho.
Okay, paano po yung plano natin for November 1? Kasi official na ba na walang papayagang sementeryo magbukas sa Metro Manila o pinagtatalunan pa yan o hinahanapan ng paraan?
Una-una po, nag-meeting kami last Sunday. No? Unanimous po ang ating 17 mayors ng NCR requesting for the closure of all cemeteries, columbarium, no? For 1 week. No? Pero of course, yung paglibing dyan, cremation, tuloy lang yan yung services nila. Ang bawal lang pagdalaw. Ang inaantay na lang po namin yung decision po ng IATF kung anong dates po yan. Either October 21 to November 4 or October 28 to November 3. Kasi talagang hinabaan na natin kasi kung mga 2 araw lang, 31 at 1 lang natin isasara yan, bubuhos ang tao ng October 30. No? At talagang di natin mapipigilan yan. Ang ano lang natin dito is mas pahabain na lang natin yung visitation. No? Meaning, siguro starting October 1, scheduling na tayo like ginawa ng Marikina, 30% ang capacity ni schedule na nila starting October 1. So hindi naman porket na schedule kayo dyan, buong barangay pupunta na ulit, no? Ang payo nga namin, mas maganda isang member ng family pupunta dyan, magdadala ng bulaklak, kandila, then pag uwi, sama-sama na lang magdasal sa bahay, no? Maintindihan naman yan ng mga mahal natin sa buhay na pumanaw. Hindi naman po normal ang ating sitwasyon ngayon, no? Just like what happened during the ECQ period, no? Nabawal ang misa, online naman po nakakapag-misa, no? Sabi nga namin kahit saan pwede nyo naman ipagdasal, no? Yung mga mahal nyo sa kapwa. Ang nakita natin challenge nung una dyan, of course, yung mga naghahanap buhay na nagtitinda po ng bulaklak at kandila, no? jackpot yan during October 31 and November 1. Pero pag in-spread na nga natin to starting for example on October 1, so araw-araw may bibisita, mas mahahaba na masusustain nila yung hanap buhay nila kasi nga araw-araw may pupunta, no? May spread yung kanilang benta for 1 month. So yun po yung nakikita natin dyan. Ang request lang ng ibang mga mayors natin sa NCR, baka pwede yung karatig bayan natin o probinsya. Like for example, yung Valenzuela, meron silang sementeryo na pinaghahatian ng May Kawayan, Bulacan. Hindi naman pwedeng bukas sa kabila, bukas naman yung gate ng Bulacan. Ano? Di doon lang ang dadaan ng tao. Pero sabi nga ni Mayor Rex, maganda naman ang samahan nila, no, ng mga karatig probinsya natin. Kasi nga, let's say, taga-Tagig ako, pupunta ako sa probinsya, dahil allowed doon, uuwi rin ako ng Tagig. So, just the same, no? So, we're still waiting for the guidance of the IATF and whatever decision that they will do, of course, we will follow and respect that.
Okay, paano po, GM, itong mga ayoko mukhang malupit, ano? Kasi naintindihan ko naman yung kalagayan ng ibang tao. Kanya lang, may mga umaabot na sumbong sa atin na dumadami na raw yung mga taong naglilimos sa kalsada. May mga taong parang nahaharas kasi kung hindi ka mag-abot, hindi mo ibaba yung bintana, hindi ka mag-abot, tatayo lang doon sa harap ng bintana mo. Medyo dumadami yan, paano po ba ang plano ng MMDA dyan? Kasi lalo na pag lumapit na itong Pasko, ewan ko kung anong gagawin natin.
Ay, tama po yan. Ano? Sabi ko, actually, may mga nagwa-viral, arami ng kotse mo, hindi ka nagbibigay, hindi sila alis. Ano? May mga ganyan po. No? Opo, meron pong nag-viral minsan yung isang tao po, pumunta po sa harap ng kotse, hindi niya pinapalagpas, kinakalampag niya hanggat di siya binibigyan. Ano?
Okay.
So, usually naman, madami po kaming na-encounter na mga, kumbaga, pakalat-kalat sa kalsada. Pag walang maso yan, binibigyan natin yan. Meron naman tayong mga extra, binibigyan natin yan. Pero of course, yung pagdating sa kalsada, napakadelikado niyan. Pwede silang ma-aksidente or masagasaan. So I think we need to seek also the help ng PNP on that one. Alam naman natin, wala tayong power to arrest all those people. At ang kaya lang namin itulong, itabi sila. Yung mga minor naman, kinukuha natin yan, binibigay natin sa local DSWD, yung mga minor dyan. Iniikutan natin yan. Pero of course, ang number one dito talaga yung safety rin, hindi lang nung namamalimos, kundi pati yung mga motorista, kasi talagang harassment na yan kung di mo pa dadaanin yan. Kaya as much as possible, sinasaway natin yan. Pero of course, sabi ko nga, ang mga empleyado naman po, enforcers ng MMDA, limited lang sa mga national roads. Sa mga inner roads, wala naman tayo dyan. So I think we're going to coordinate this with the local government. May mga enforcement naman sila and sa PNP.
Kamusta naman po yung ating situation as far as the bike lanes are concerned? Kasi parang pumipick up na yung mga local government units. San Juan has already started investing more money on their bike lanes. Meron pa silang bike patrols. But overall, on EDSA and major thoroughfares, ano po ba ang ginagawa ng MMDA relative to bike lanes?
Una-una po, I want to congratulate Mayor Francis Zamora. Ako po mismo dumating doon kahapon to check on it at napakaganda po nung kanyang ginawa. At yan nga po, lahat ng LGUs naman natin may effort to make or build the bike lanes. The problem is hindi siya walang connectivity sa bawat isa. So yan po yung magiging papel ng national government. Ang DOTR po, MMDA at DPWH, madalas po kami mag-meeting ngayon, si Secretary Art Tugade, si Chairman Lim, at si Secretary Mark Villar, para pag-usapan saan pwede ilagay itong mga bike lanes na to. Alam naman natin, meron na tayong nakaabang na project sa EDSA, ito yung magko-connect sa mga cities natin. At nasimula na rin po yung sa hospital loop, at gumagana na yung nasa Manila and Quezon City, naglagay po tayo ng dyan, ng mga bollards na temporary while waiting for the permanent structures. Pero maganda po, Quezon City po, yung buong Commonwealth, kausap ko rin po si Mayor Joy Belmonte, nakipag-coordinate na sa amin, and not only Quezon City but almost all, no, LGUs. Ang MMDA po, may existing bike lane siya nung araw eh. Mahaba yan, no? Hundreds
Sa
of
EDSA.
kilometers yan. Yes, no? Ang ano na lang natin, i-rehab na lang po natin to. Kasi talagang sa ngayon po, no, napakahirap po na hindi natin lalagyan ng mga safety precautions yan, like yung mga bollards man lang or concrete barrier. Kasi napakadelikado, no? Kaya nga, ang inuuna natin dito, yung safety. Of course, hindi naman pwedeng masabi na lagyan mo ng linya yan, eh. Tuloy-tuloy na, no? Actually, yan ang target natin. Walang pinagkaiba sa mga bus lane natin na nilagyan natin ng concrete barrier. Eh kung kami lang ang masusunod, double yellow lane lang, okay na tayo dyan, eh, no? Sa ibang bansa, parang may pader yan, hindi mo nadadaanan yan. Eh, dito sa atin talaga, tinatanggal pa eh, no? Kaya kailangan talaga i-separate muna, masanay ang tao na ito eh talagang design to para sa mga bikers, sa mga bus, mga ganyan, no? Separated lanes. At siguro, no, hopefully, I'm praying, no, before our term ends, no, na talagang naiba na natin yung kultura. Kung matandaan nyo, Sir Cito, last week nagpatawag po ako ng meeting.
Okay, mukhang nagka-problema tayo sa signal ni
Hindi po.
GM.
Sir
Yun.
Cito.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling na siguro, I hope, no, we're praying na after our term, no, 2 years na lang yan, mabago na natin yung kultura ng disiplina. Kung matatandaan nyo, I think that was last week, Tuesday, nagpatawag po ako, no, hindi naman na-sensationalize yung meeting na to, dahil we're really serious about this, no. Dumating po doon si General Eleazar ng Joint Task Force, si General Cruz ng HPG, LTO, LTFRB at DOTR, no. Ang pinag-usapan namin dito, yung talagang cause ng accidents. Number 1 talaga sa listahan yung DUI, no, yung under influence, no. And then pangalawa, yung nadidistract sila, nagte-text, nagse-cellphone, tumatawag, no. At kaya nga last night nagkaroon ng joint operation na yan na hopefully masustain natin. Na we want people to know that we're really serious about this, no, enforcement. Kasi nga madami ng batas, ang problema eh hindi masyadong na-enforce, no. Kala ng tao eh nagbibiro-biro lang tayo kaya ang dami pa ring pasaway, no.
Nabanggit mo GM, driving under the influence of alcohol ang number 1 ngayon. Saan sila umiinom? Eh ba hindi ba wala namang bukas na mga bar o kaya mga gano'n?
Baka sa bahay, we don't know, no. Sir Cito, if we have time, I can make some stories, no, for 5 minutes.
Go ahead. Kahit mga isang story lang, at least masampulan.
Okay, kasi natatandaan nyo, naging controversial tong ating bus lane, di ba, dahil sa concrete barrier, no? Yung mga aksidente, nagba-viral, no? Pero meron tayong datos eh, before ilagay yung barrier, mas madaming aksidente, no, sa EDSA, no? So, na-sensationalize lang dahil bago tong barrier. Ngayon, itong mga concrete barrier, may mga aksidente dyan, like for example, yung mga bus natin. Ang total accident dyan, less than 10, 8 or 9 lang ata ang tumama sa barrier, no? So ngayon, nung kinumpute namin, ang dumadaan sa EDSA na bus, mga 200 yan more or less, no? So 4 trips, 800 a day. In 1 month, that's 24,000. In 3 months, mga more than 50,000 na. So 50,000 trips, ang na-aksidente, less than 10, mga 8 lang. So meaning, napakaliit na porsyento at ang naging cost lahat, overspeeding, no? So ibig sabihin, yung barrier, hindi siya mali eh. Kumbaga, steady dyan, hindi yan gumagalaw. Sabi ko nga, kahit naluwagan natin ng 5 or 10 meters yung barrier, kung talagang pasaway yung driver, tatamaan nila yan, no? And then, alam nyo ba, itong 8 na driver na to, 4 dito, ito yung multiple violators. Ito yung sinabit ko last year sa LTO na 10,000 names. Nagsuspindi sila ng more than 3,000 na show cause order, no? Pero dito kasama pa rin sa listahan. That's why yun yung time na nagpatawag nga kami ng meeting. I told the LTO to give the list also to LTFRB, to give the list operator, wag na pagmanehohin. Ang daming matitirong driver na walang trabaho eh, no?
Hindi ba pwedeng mapakulong yan? Kasi alam mo, GM, may kaibigan ako noon sa Amerika, mekaniko, miat-miya nahuhuli ng pulis, ano? At miat-miya nagbabayad siya ng multa. One day, pinatawag siya, nag-appear siya sa court, tapos sabi niya, I am guilty, Your Honor. I will pay the fine. Sabi ng judge, no, I don't want your money. I want your ass in jail. At pinakulong siya. Tigil.
Tama. Tama po.
Dapat yata ganyan na dito ngayon, yung ganyan
Actually, ito nga Sir Cito, no? Ito pala yung sinasabi ko sa public utility vehicles, no? Yung private vehicles, mas 100 na po ang accident causing sa barrier yan, no? Including motorcycle. Ang dumadaan dyan, 200,000 a day. 6 million a month. So mga more than 20 million ang sasakyan na dumaan dyan. Ang aksidente, 100. Of course, aksidente pa rin yan, ano? Pero nung tinignan namin, ano cost ng 100? Yung 80% kung hindi nakainom, nagte-text, nagse-cellphone. So ito yung avoidable accidents eh. Ngayon, meron pang ang iba doon, yung 20%, ito yung nakatulog, or overspeeding, or sumabog ang gulong, roadworthiness, no? So I mean, all of these accidents, pwedeng iwasan. Kahit sabi mo accident yan, wala may gusto dyan, pwede mong iwasan din. Can you imagine, Sir Cito, no? Sa isang private na nahuli natin, ang allowed sa batas, 0.05 alcohol. No? Nung tinest siya, 2.5. So that's how many? 6,000%? 600%? And then yung isang taxi driver.
Ano ininom niya? Isang case ng beer.
Ngayon, may isang taxi driver, public utility vehicle driver ka. Professional driver, no? Ang allowed dyan, 0.01. As in zero, no? Alam mo ang ano niya, result niya, 1.5. That's 150 times, no? Lang allowed. So, sabi ko nga, yung mga ganyan, revoke dapat yan eh. So, I got all the reports, will submit it to LTO, na inaano namin na revoke nyo na yan or i-suspend natin. No? So, ito yun eh. Kaya ang daming pasaway kasi nga yung hindi kala nila nagbibiro tayo eh. No? Ang ganda na lang mga fines natin, yung sinasabi nyo, 3 violation ka in 1 year. Dapat suspended ang license mo for 2 years. Yung more than 10,000 names na yung nasabi sa LTO, which I want to commend LTO dahil 3,000 na ang inano nila dahil sa effort namin. The good thing about today, no, now, is yung ating mga ahensya, nag-uusap-usap kami lagi. No? Hindi yung kanya-kanya, bahala kayo sa buhay nyo. Hindi po, no? Madalas po kami nag-uusap-usap, magkakasundo po ang mga head of agency, kaya nagkakatulungan kami. So hopefully talaga, I'm praying in 2 years time, no, bago kami mag-retire pare-pareho, sana mabago na yung ganyang kultura.
Okay. Well, sana po magkatotoo. And total naman, may mga nakakausap ka na rin congressman. Baka, ewan ko, kung hindi pa batas, dapat gumawa tayo ng batas na maliban sa yung mga suspension of license o kaya revocation of license, yung talagang walang niya, dapat siguro makatikim na mga 30 days in jail. Kasi ganun talaga ang nangyari sa kaibigan ko. Matapos siyang makulong, tumino siya. Sabi na, kaya iba yung nagbabayad ng multa, pero pag nakulong ka, mag-iisip ka.
Actually, Sir Cito, may isang pang kwento. I think that was September 14, no? 3 days ago lang. May nahuli kami, naka-pick up siya. Ninakaw yung cone. Yung cone, yung orange cone natin, no? Sinakay sa pick up. Nakuha namin na lisensya, no? Biglang tumakbo. Kung sino ka man, nasa amin na lisensya mo, ang info mo, sabi ko nga, pinasulatan ko na sa abogado, sulatan na lang natin. No? Yan ang hindi ko nga maintindihan eh. Hindi na sila sumusunod, kinukuha pa yung code. Wala ka namang gagawin dyan. Siguro ito yung nagtitrip sila or ano lang nila. No? Diyan, alam ko, nakainom yan, nakadroga, para kunin ang cone sa kalsada at ilagay niya sa pickup niya.
Gagawin niya early warning device. Pag nasiraan siya, ilalagay niya, pas makikita ninyo, teka, ito yung ninakaw na cone sa amin ikulong niyo na. Okay.
Grabe talaga, di ba? It's only here, no, sa atin nangyayari. Hopefully talaga mapatuloy natin yan.
Pero alam mo, GM, naniniwala ko, majority naman ng Pilipino matino.
Yes.
Sa kalsada natin, sa dami ng sasakyan natin, nako, sigurado ko ang dami nating dapat mas marami pa tayong aksidente kung ang mga Pilipino ay tarang-ogag. Pero dahil tayo ay masunurin, may disiplina, kanya hindi ganun kadami. But in any case, thank you for doing a good job, GM. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Magyayabang lang ko kami baka yung nabalitaan nyo kaya under sa leadership ni Chairman ang MMDA po nakakuha in 45 years first time yung sa COA report na kami napakaganda po na naging resulta, no? I think we're the only agency who got that, no? Yung unqualified opinion ng COA po, no? So first time po nangyari yan under the leadership of chairman. Now in 45 years, no, ngayon lang po na-award ng MMDA ng ganyan, yung sa transparency natin, no? At nilabas po yan ng COA. Kaya we're just really proud of our employees who dahil sa kanila nagawa natin to, of course sa leadership ni Chairman Lim, no? At yan naging bonus pa sa amin yung kung matatandaan nyo last year yung ISO natin, no, ng MMDA. Na-accredit na rin po tayo.
Okay. Ano ibig sabihin nun? May bonus ka?
Yun nga po baka.
Okay. Thank you very much,
Well,
Jim.
we're just proud. We're just really proud. Kasi ilang beses ako na-interview tungkol dyan asking ano nangyari. Bakit from na parang ang tao wala nang tiwala nun sa mga agencies, biglang naglabas ang COA, no, for 45 years, first time nakakuha, unqualified reports pa. Opo.
Mabuti naman po. At alam naman natin na very transparent, professional ang MMDA. At saka at least hindi na kayo, kumbaga no, hindi na kayo pulahan o kaya batuhan ng pintas. Thank you very much, GM.
Ay, thank you very much, Sir Cito. Mabuhay po kayo again. No? Thank you for inviting me to your show. It's my privilege. And please stay safe po and good morning.
Okay. Yan po, si GM Jojo Garcia ng MMDA. Ayan, siya nang po mismo nagsasabi. Pag alam nyo tayo, karamihan, millions of Filipinos here in Metro Manila and pati na kayo sa mga probinsya. Alam ko po, palagay ko pwede ko na maipaglaban ng pitpitan na kayo po ay kayo ay disente, may pinag-aralan, may disiplina at mababait. Yan po ang Pilipino eh. Kanya lang pamisan-misan talaga yung mga pasaway, yung mga paisa-isang walang yakang mama ka, naka-pick up ka na, magnanakaw ka pa ng safety ko ng MMDA, nilalagay yun doon para sa kapakanan ng ibang Pilipino para wag ma-aksidente. Ikaw kukulimbatin mo, hudas ka? Abay, sana tumubo yung kaon sa ulo mo. Hindi sa bagay, tama po mga kaibigan. Siguro kanya kinuha yung cone na yon para pag-uwi niya, uupo siya doon sa kanto, tapos isusuot niya sa ulo niya. Hindi ba yan yung ginagawa sa mga eskwelahan noong unang panahon? Pinasusuot ka ng sombrero ng tanga o ng bobo. Ayun talaga, bobo. At siguro ganun siya kabobo na nakawin niya yung cone. Huwag po tayong ganyan. At kayo naman po nagmamaneho. No? Ito po, napapansin ko marami. Pansinin ninyo, sitahin ninyo, yung mga nagdi-deliver, umaandar, tinitingnan yung kanilang cellphone. Meron pa, nagpa-punch pa na ganun, samba ito, ganito, ganun, habang umaandar. Sus, nako po, may dito lang sa bintana ako, natatanaw ko eh. Magdi-deliver kasi dito, ewan ko ba itong mga kapitbahay ko, ang hilig lahat. Sobrang dami ng mga deliver. Sabi ko, ano kaya pinapa-deliver? Pero yung mga driver, ganun, pinipindot. In any case, we'll go for a quick break. When we return, more interviews and we will speak with Lieutenant General Guillermo Eleazar. Anyari ba dyan sa Cavite at kailan ba tayo lalaya? Yung makapasyal-pasyal man lang yung kapitbahay, kapitbayan. Okay, here on Agenda. Okay, at this part of the program, let's bring in Lieutenant General Guillermo Eleazar, Commander of the Joint Task Force COVID Shield. Tungkol po naman dito sa medyo hindi yata naintindihan ng ilang tao. General Eleazar, good morning, sir.
Magandang umaga sa iyo, Cito. Ganon din sa mga nakikinig at nanonood sa iyong programa.
Ewan ko kung malabo lang ang mata ko, pero parang nangayayat ka, sir.
Hindi naman, Cito. Mini-maintain lang.
Mini-maintain. Hindi ako nagbibiro. Parang pumayat ka eh. In any case, General, nababasa ko, madalas kitang nababasa sa pahayagan na paulit-ulit ka nagre-remind sa mga mamamayan natin regarding quarantines, travel passes, etc. May umabot sa aking balita na parang merong confusion o hindi pagkakaintindihan o hindi maintindihan yung tungkol ba sa Tagaytay City. Lalo na yung mga gustong pumasyal dyan for the weekend, etc. Parang sabi nung iba, kalapit-lapit na yun eh. Dati na namin pasyalan yun eh. Bakit kami hindi makapunta dyan? Yung mga tiga NCR ba? Pakiliwanag na lang, General, kung ano ba yung nangyayari?
Yes, Cito. Doon kasi ang Cavite is under MGCQ and it is provided in the Omnibus Guideline of ITF na all movement of persons for any purpose across MGCQ areas or yung walang quarantine, permitted na yon. Pero provided na ang panggagalingan nun is MGCQ pa rin. Ibalik muna natin sa ating mga local government units na sila po ay merong discretion na i-open na kung ikaw ay nasa MGCQ, itong iyong lugar at hindi na kailangan pa itong mga ibang restriction like travel authority, which is yun na lang yung ating remaining restriction natin para maiwasan natin na talagang mag-travel ang ating mga kabayan. So si Governor Remulla nag-declare siya na open na po yung Cavite. At tama naman po siya doon. Kaya lang po, dahil nga itong katabi niya is Metro Manila and Batangas, which are under GCQ, hindi pa rin po siya kasama doon sa provision na yon na freely pwede mag-travel. Except for Laguna, nakatabi niya, pwede po yun. So, we only have 3 areas in Luzon under GCQ. Metro Manila, Bulacan, and Batangas. So ngayon, yung sinasabi po niya na open na yun, tama po yun. Pero doon lang po doon sa Laguna. Kung ikaw po ay panggagaling dito sa Metro Manila, like for example, dyan sa Las Piñas, pupunta ka ng Bacoor, may checkpoint po dyan sa Bacoor at i-check pa rin kung ikaw ay Apor. Otherwise, kailangan mo ng travel authority kung pupunta ka. The same manner, pag galing kang Batangas, galing ka po ng probably Nasugbo, pagpasok mo doon sa Alfonso, ganun din. But pag galing ka sa Laguna, like sa Carmona, o silang papunta ng Carmona, maaaring hindi na siya kailangan. So ito po yung guidelines kasi na ating sinusunod. Well, siguro after few weeks, at nag-MGCQ na ang Metro Manila, wala na pong kailangan na travel authority. Pero sa ngayon, what we are trying to control is the influx of unauthorized tourists. While we encourage authorized tourists, convert natin siya with travel authority. Preparasyon po ito, kinakamada. Kasi eventually, pag nag-MGCQ na, at lalo na po yung DOT, Department of Tourism, is encouraging ito pong ating mga tourism or travel bubbles na kung saan bibigyan na po ng pahintulot. Okay po yun. Ngayon po, sa sitwasyon ngayon, for example, the IATF through the Department of Tourism declared na ito pong Tagaytay City is open na kahit sa GCQ. By all means, yun po, mag-a-adjust po tayo doon. But based on our consultation, my consultation with the National Task Force through Secretary Eduardo Anyo, yun pa rin po yung ating susundin. Sito, idagdag ko lang kasi yes, most of the part of the countries or the 81 provinces, talaga pong nasa MGCQ na, pati yung highly urbanized cities. So, kung tutuusin natin, under MGCQ, gaya na banggit ko, pwede na po walang travel authority. Pero, nasa discretion ng local government units kung gusto pa rin nila yung paghigpit. Dahil, through the travel authority, nabibigyan ng opportunity para makontrol yung pagpunta nila doon. Dahil, if you apply for travel authority, una, kailangan ng medical clearance certificate. Pangalawa, na mas importante, meron coordination na ginagawa ang sending LGU sa receiving LGU through the police stations na yung nag-a-apply na yun is pwedeng outrightly bigyan na ng pagbigyan ng travel authority or ma-delay siya for a week or two, depende. Depende na sa sitwasyon kung overwhelmed sila dun sa pinoprocess nila mga LSI or other travelers.
Okay, so alam ko naman po na tiga patupad ang task force, COVID Shield. Hindi kayo ang nagdidikta, hindi kayo ang nag-uutos, sinusunod nyo lang kung ano yung kautosan ng IATF and national government. But in your experience, in your observation, kailangan pa rin ba itong system na ito? Kasi parang ang may mga nagsasabi, yun namang magbiyahe papunta ng Tagaytay o papunta ng Baguio, puro naman dikotse yan, wala namang bus na pumupunta dyan. So there is relative safety. What have you noticed on the ground, or what's your opinion to those kinds of comments?
Yes, Cito, for travel authority, tingin ko kailangan yon ng mga local government units, lalo na po yung malalayong lugar, dahil just like what I've said earlier, control po nila yon. May say sila sa pupunta sa kanila. In the case of Cavite, which is talagang adjacent sa Metro Manila, it so happen po na iba kasi ang category niya, GCQ at MGCQ, at yun yung panuntunan. Well, ang inaasahan natin is mag-MGCQ na rin ang Metro Manila sana, at yun ay sana base dun sa talagang siyensa. At kung magkaganon man, talagang doon na po tayo pupunta. Gaya na sinabi ko, for the past 6 months or itong 5 months natin, wala naman po yung tourism concept Ngayon na lang binubuksan siya, pero dapat tama ang sinasabi ng Interagency Task Force, Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, na maingat yung pagpasok natin doon. At just like what is happening in Tagaytay, alam nyo po, even sa sitwasyon ngayon na sinasabi nga natin na authorized tourist yung naandun, kung may nakakalusot pang iba, kaya na yung itong sinasabi natin na capacity nila, how much more po kung mag-open ng MGCQ. So, dahan-dahan, pinag-aaralan at doon din naman tayo pupunta.
Okay, paano po yung mga checkpoints ngayon? Sasariwain ba natin yan? Are we going to refresh the checkpoints, tighten it, etc.? Because alam mo, hindi ako naiinggit sa'yo, General Eleazar, kasi alam ko, para kang pumapara ng isang koral ng mga nanggigigil na kabayo. Paano ang gagawin ninyo? Maghihigpit kayo ulit?
Sito, yan naman, isa naman sa intervention natin is pagsasagawa ng checkpoint. At usually, ang mga fixed checkpoints natin ngayon, nasa provincial boundary. For the reason nga na nag-check tayo ng travel authority dahil magkocross sila ng provincial border. Kung matitingnan mo sa Metro Manila, wala na po tayong fixed checkpoint sa loob, lalo sa main thoroughfares. Una, na-request yan ng MMDA dahil nakita naman natin yung practicality na kung i-check natin lahat yan, talaga magkakagulo-gulo ang traffic natin. Ngayon, there are protocols and guidelines na sa experience natin since mula nung simula hanggang 6 months. Marami po kasi ito yung tama na talaga ipapatupad base sa assessment ng ITF. And merong iba dyan na mahirap ipatupad or kung iba-violate mo, maaaring hindi ka mahuli. Kagaya nito, kasi marami siyang complication But what I'm trying to say here is that for the past 6 months na pinagdaanan natin, inaasahan natin na nagkaroon tayong self-discipline na susunod tayo dito, hindi dahil mahuli tayo pag hindi sumunod. For all you know, hindi ka mahuli, di ba? Pero, nagbigay ng direktibang ating Chief PNP, Police General Camilo Pancrasius Cascolan, na mag-conduct ng random checking and mobile checkpoint. Here in Metro Manila, for example, wala man tayong fixed checkpoint, pero ang high patrol group, any time of the day, bigla silang mag-check ngayon, at pag meron violation, huli, cited. Sa Tagaytay, nagbigay ng instruction ng ating Chief PNP for the highway patrol group, pati na rin doon sa Tagaytay City Police na even though hindi sila nag-check doon kasi nga ang assumption, pag pumasok ka na ng Cavite, na-check ka na sa border, authorized ka na. No need for them to be checked doon sa border ng Tagaytay. Pero ngayon, pwede tayong mag-check doon para malaman kung yung isang motorista doon is ma-check natin kung taga saan siya. Kasi kung siya ay taga Metro Manila or taga Bulacan or taga Batangas, alamin natin kung may travel authority. At kung wala siyang travel authority, pwede siyang i-cite. Lalo ng high patrol group, pwedeng kumpiskahin ng lisensya at siya ay matikitan. Now, for other residents ng ibang area outside sa tatlong sinabi ko, wala pong problema yun kasi bukas na nga ang Tagaytay, pati na rin ang Cavite, sa lahat na MGCQ po yung kanilang quarantine status.
Okay, baka lang General, kasi siyempre mahal ko rin yung mga tiga-PNP. Kasi may nakausap akong abogado, yung Dean actually of Law ng pamantasan ng Maynila yata yun. sinabi niya sa akin, Cito, there is no law but that you can base a citation or a penalty as far as this COVID thing is concerned, this quarantine. Maliban na lang kung merong mga local, anong tawag natin doon?
Ordinances, Cito.
Ordinances. Ay dyan ba sa Cavite may local ordinance na bawal pumasok yung walang travel authority? Kasi parang napapangita ko na magsisitahan. Bakit sasabihin, hindi, MGCQ na dyan. Ay, alam mo, General, maraming pilosopo Para
Yes.
mabuting ngayon pa lang
Yes,
maliwanagan natin.
Tama yung Cito. Na-foresee na po yan ng DOTR na part ng Intelligence Task Force. Kaya yung mga specific violation na base dun sa ating mga protocol, may mga corresponding na katapat na mga LTO violation. Like for example, di ba, yung sinasabi natin na nagsakay ka ng hindi apor, overloading at may corresponding penalty yun. So,
Okay.
yung walang barrier o ano po yun, parang may corresponding violation din siya na nakakibat doon. At kung halimbawa na hindi unauthorized ka doon, parang driving without license ang katapat niya. Well, pwede pong i-contest yan. But the point is, yan po yung pagbabasihan namin. Another thing, tama yung sinabi nyo, yung ordinansa. At kung tutuusin po, yung Republic Act 11332, which is specifically yung Section 9E, itong non-cooperation of persons affected by health event of public concern, pwede pong ilagay natin yan dyan. Bahala na kung pagdating po sa piskalya, doon po is magkaroon ng usapan. Pero the point is, meron kaming basihan para restuhin. Ang point kasi natin dito, Cito nga, is ayun naman natin na hahayaan natin na meron tayong mga protocols and yet, ibabiolate ng ating mga kabayan. Kahit mahirap harapin yan, yung violation na yan, magkakantak pa rin tayo ng tsambahan at pag natsambahan sila, this will bring a strong message sa ating lahat. At yun po yung gusto nating gawin dahil nga yun ang role po ng Joint Task Force COVID Shield.
Okay, hayaan mo, General. Isang araw, ite-text kita. Papapil akong tipster para makahuli itong mga ilang pilosopong kilala ko na mga pasaway na nagpo-post pa sa Facebook. Kanya sabi ko, alam ka, I can relate, I can understand kung bakit kuminsan gusto mo nang bantayan yung Facebook. Kasi pasaway na, ang yabang pa, nagpo-post pa. Anyway.
Alam mo, Cito, yes, malinaw at nararamdaman po namin yung mga hinaing ng ating mga netizen at talaga pong ang haba na ng ating sakripisyo. At kami naman po is nagpapatupad lang. Pero malapit na po tayo magtagumpay. Kailangan namin ng kooperasyon nyo. Ako po laging nasisita. Siyempre, ako po nga tagapagbigay ng mga panuntunan na galing sa ATF. Ako po lagi nababas. Pero gagawin lang po namin ang trabaho dahil at the end of the day, ito pong mga protocol na ito na ilabas sa ITF, pinag-aralan po yan na dapat sinusunod. Pag hindi nyo sinunod, maaari hindi po kayo mahuli. Pero maaari ang katapat naman ito, kalusugan mo o pwedeng buhay mo at buhay ng mga mahal mo sa buhay.
At saka siguro dapat lang na ma-realize ng tao. Alam mo, General Eleazar, matagal na rin tayo magkakilala. Believe ako sa katapatan mo sa trabaho, your dedication. Kuminsan nagdududa ako, bakit ikaw nilagay dyan sa trabahong pinakamainit at kontrobersyal? Palagay ko parang tinatabla ka para hindi ka maging chief PNP. Anyway, good luck na lang, sir.
Cito, itagdag ko lang, Cito, itong virus natin, hindi po humihina. In fact, lalong kumakalat, nakita natin, di ba, daang libo na. So ito po, hindi nila alam at wala silang pakailam kung anong quarantine status natin at mga travel protocol natin. Ang concern lang nila, magdikit-dikit kayo, yari kayo, di ba? So, yun po ang dapat nating tatandaan. Kaya nga, tayo po nag-a-analyze ng protocol. Ang aming pakiusap, kooperasyon na lahat. Nasa second phase na tayo na National Action Program. At ang panawagan natin, sundin nyo na lang po yun. Ito ay para sa inyo at nakikita natin, malapit na tayo magtagumpay sa ating protocol.
Okay. Thank you very much, General Eleazar. Good way to end the program and the interview. God bless you, sir.
Salamat, mabuhay tayong lahat.
Okay, yan po si Lieutenant General Guillermo Eleazar at alam nyo, bigla ko na lang na-realize bigla ko na lang na-realize na napakainit ng silya na pinaupo si General Eleazar. makanan, makaliwa ka, may aangal. In any case, let's appreciate the man because he's doing his job. Whether you like it or not, you have to admire a man who will do his work regardless of popularity or unpopularity. And that's agenda for today. God bless all of you. Have a happy weekend. And yung mga kaibigan kong pasaway, isusumbong ko na kayo. That's it. Thank you very much.